All right, let's get into it. Henry, first fight on the main card. We've got Rude Boy Randy Brown taking on Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos. I like both guys. Zaleski, a guy that I've kind of had my eye on for a long time because he was doing it while I was, on that contender status to become champion. So he's been there for a while. But in this fight, I have to go with my boy, Rude Boy Randy Brown. And yes, for my underdog picks, I'm going to have to go with less than. I'm going to have to go with lower on the significant strike. Lower than 50, what is that, 55 or 57? I'm going to have to go with lower on the significant strikes.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go with Bobby Brown as well. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Randy Brown. My bad, man. I keep freaking butchering this, but I'm going to have to go with Randy Brown as well. And I'm actually, because, dude, I tell you what, man, one thing I will say, because it's going to be a striking war, I'm gonna have to go higher Kamaru Usman. I feel like this fight's gonna really this is a battle of two guys who are gonna stay on their feet and actually throw punches. So I'm gonna go significant strikes higher than 57.5.
Okay. All right. Now we're gonna move on to our next fight. We've got Jailton Almeida taking on Alexandr Romanov. This is a good fight. I'm gonna go with Almeida for the win here, because I think he was like just a train coming through all these guys and fighting a guy like his last fight, Curtis Blades. He was taking Curtis Blades down. And the way that these judges are scoring these takedowns, the one thing about Jailton Almeida is when he locks his hands, kind of like myself, maybe a little better. Okay, maybe a little better. He's not really letting go. He's tripping these guys, getting them down. And when these guys work back up, they're still crediting him with another takedown. So I'm going with Jailton Almeida, and I'm definitely going higher on the higher than 3 takedowns for right here on my pick.
No, I 100% agree with you on this one. I think Jailton Almeida, the dude is so underrated with the grappling, with his wrestling, and every time we see him fight, he's always taking people down. That's what makes a guy like this dangerous. So I do believe that Romanov has his hands full. Now, can he continue to keep defending this guy? And I'm going to have to agree. I personally think he's going to double that number. So for that reason, I'm going to have to go higher too on the takedowns for Jailton Almeida.
All right, and we move on to our next fight. We've got Kevin Holland taking on, I feel like he's a miniature Polish power right here. Oh my God, he looks just like Jan Blachowicz. They might be brothers from another mother, related.
Take him
you
out.
never
Take
know.
him out. I tell you what, man. Since Jan Blachowicz has been calling you out, why don't you take out his little brother, dude? What's up? What's up?
I will happily decline on that one as well. But getting into the fight, I like this fight. This one's a difficult one for me because I think if Kevin Holland is kind of rebounded and got refocused from that last loss, I think he could do good here. But this is I believe this is my upset pick. This is my upset pick because I do want Kevin Holland to win, but I don't know how that last fight affected him because we rarely ever see Kevin Holland get clowned in a fight. He's usually the one doing the clowning because he loves the fans on him and going with him. So I'm anxious to see how he's going to do with coming back from having, being clowned in a fight and then losing a fight like that, kind of being memed. So I don't know. I want him to win, but for my pick, I'm going to go with the miniature Polish power here. I'm going to go with him for the win here. And I'm going to go with Kevin Holland. So I'm going to go higher.
Okay, God. Lee Kumar, you're making this thing. Let me see. Knockout submissions, finishes. This is what I love about what Underdog is doing. It's like if you really love your fighter, you really support him, how good do you really know this? So what Underdog does is like, hey, you're going to have to really pick on the significant strikes. If it goes higher than 43, or it could be submissions, it could be takedowns. Like, I think they've done a really good job with their damn homework. But if I'm looking at this fight too, it seems like if the UFC is they're probably Holland probably asked for this fight because I've never heard this guy. I've never seen him fight, but for that reason, I do feel like Kevin Holland significant strikes. You know what? I'm gonna play the devil's advocate because of his last fight. I'm actually for the significant strikes. I'm going to go lower Kamaru.
Okay, I like it. Even though I do want to see Kevin Holland win, but we move on to our next fight. Now we got the co-main event. We've got Sean. Is this still go by Tarzan? Sean Tarzan Strickland taking on Paulo Costa Borrachinha. And this is a really good fight. But I have to go with Sean Strickland because of how difficult it is for someone to kick him. Even though I do think Paulo Costa could find some really good kicks on him, I'm going to have to go with Sean Strickland. I know how difficult he is to fight because I fought the guy. And so I'm going to go with Sean Strickland. And they've got 20 minutes fight time, higher or lower. So this must be a 5-round fight. And I'm going to go with... they're basically saying that Sean Strickland is going to get him out of there within 4 rounds. Henry.
That's a lot. What can I tell you something though too? If Paulo Costa just decides to strike with them, which he is, I could see why. I could see why a guy like Sean Strickland could just walk him down, and check the kicks that he has, like just as he did against Israel. Yeah. And man, it's hard to disagree with that.
I'm gonna go higher because I think Paulo Costa is tough enough to withstand those strikes. To even though he might lose the decision, I'm gonna go with Sean Strickland for the win. But for my underdog pick, I'm gonna go with higher than 20 minute fight time. I'm gonna go higher on that one.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll do the same thing. But
don't be trying to copy me, dog.
What I will say here is the significant strikes. 114 for Sean Strickland. Higher or lower? Ooh, wee! Man, I'm gonna have to go higher. And that 20 minute mark, I think either one of these guys could maybe finish each other. So I'm probably gonna go lower Kamaru Usman on this.
So you got to pick. Which is your one pick? Are you going on the significant strikes or are you going on the fight time?
You know what? I'm gonna go with the significant strikes. I'm gonna go higher.
Okay. All right. Now we move on to our main event. I'm gonna make this one. Blow this up for me. Let me see that. You know, got Dustin the Diamond Poirier taking on Islam Makhachev. Man, it's a banging fight. I love it. Because I feel like I love the fight. It's a good one for Islam to get back in there. I'm gonna go with I think Islam for the win, but fight time 10 minutes. What? Well, I just feel they low key disrespectful. Why they doing my man?
Hey, but can I tell you something though, Kamaru?
Yeah.
Khabib himself said is I'm gonna get him out of there within the first 2, maximum 3 rounds.
Okay, so I think they're being disrespectful, and I think you don't put that type of pressure on my man Islam. I think you let Islam go in there because at the end of the day, he's the only one who's going to have to step in there, and he needs to let that fight develop the way that he wants that fight to develop. If you're going in there, everyone telling you got to finish him within 2 rounds, that's unnecessary pressure. So you might go in there and try to rush certain things, and Dustin the Diamond Poirier is the wrong mofo to try to go in there and just be throwing caution to the wind on. So I like Islam for the win, but I feel like these numbers are disrespectful here going with that with some of this. So I'm going higher on that 10-minute fight time because come on, bruh. Come on. Don't disrespect my dog Dustin like that.
Okay, so you're going to go higher on the fight time. So you got Islam from when you can go higher on the fight time.
Yes.
And can we only pick one here? Is it just...
Yes, only one. Can't only select one from these picks, Henry.
Okay. Yeah. Well, then I'm going to have to go the same thing. I'm gonna have to go Islam Makhachev. And you know what, Kamaru?
Wait, so you think it's gonna be longer than he's gonna go past 2 rounds? Because
you know what, I'm gonna go lower on this one.
You better stick with your pick.
I think there's something about Islam going in there, and I think the mauling is gonna continue pretty quickly, and the grappling is gonna start, and I think before we see the 3rd round, I could possibly see Islam Makhachev getting his hand raised.
Okay. I like it, Henry. I like it. Now, we had what was that? Mike Bond. Oh, yeah, what are we at? Islam Makhachev's winning streak. 8 fighters in history have achieved 13-fight UFC win streak. Can you blow that up a little bit more? Have achieved 13-fight UFC win streak, including UFC 302 headliner Islam Makhachev. Of the 7 outside of Makhachev, only 2, Anderson Silva and what is that? Kamaru Usman got over the hump and pushed it further. Ooh, Kamaru Usman. That name sounds familiar. But yeah, 2 fighters have been over 13-fight win streak, and Islam is attempting to do that. Islam's already made history. I mean, becoming a champion, now you're a part of the 1%, and he's just going to push that further and further until he decides that he's done with this sport. But I like it. Henry. Henry, you see that? You see those stats?
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's a lot of times to be able to get your hand raised in a row, dude. I mean, congratulations to you and Anderson Silva. I mean, you guys have separated.
Oh, me?
Yeah, you guys have separated yourselves from like the pack of just having consistency, man. That's huge. Not just that, but you're lapping people too, man. So, but I think Islam is on his way to do some incredible things, and he's looking to fight sometime maybe in the fall, right before the year ends. So the dude wants to be active.
Yeah, I like it. I think he's gonna run that, and that's the thing. Once you're active and you're just fighting, before you know it, people are telling you, "Hey, you're gonna break this record and that record and this record." So I like that for Islam. Big fight coming up this weekend, UFC 302, Islam Makhachev. But of course, we want to make sure that we at least. Oh, look at that! Dustin Poirier said that. Hey, once he gets in there, I got the statue of the Gilly. Dustin Poirier said earlier this month that if he submit Islam Makhachev with the guillotine choke, he will get a bronze statue of himself in that position. But yes, that would be fantastic if he's able to pull that off. If he's able to pull that off, do we say is that the upset of recent memories? The biggest upset of recent memory? I think it's a bigger upset than Topuria versus Volkanovski for sure.
Oh yeah, no, for sure, dude. Topuria has powers, but because I feel like a guy like Dustin Poirier has had so many chances that it's almost like he has more of that chance to actually. It would just be a bigger upset, but will he do it? That's a different story. Kamaru.